There's a
Yeah,
yellow theme.
oh, you know what? And Ty, I need to change my shirt real quick. Do you mind? Sorry,
Yeah.
Emma, we really have done this before, but we usually
No,
change
I'm
shirts
with
between
you.
episodes.
I do that when I do like posts back to back. I always will
Yes.
change between.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna
stay
change
in
real
my
quick.
book one. Yeah,
You're gonna
good.
just hood it up.
Yeah. I'm in sweatpants and I'm not changing.
I know.
It's
I was
fine.
like putting on jeans and I'm like, what am I doing? No one can
This
see my
isn't an
leg.
interview. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
I
at
mean,
work.
kind of. Yeah. How is that going?
It's going really well. Super
Nice.
busy, but good.
Good.
What about you? I always see you're like behind the scenes reading and working. Like, love that.
I have too much stuff on my plate. Way too much stuff on my plate. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I'm
What?
just too creative right now. Ever since Pepsi passed away, I think it's like a grief response that my brain went into like hyperdrive and was like, you need to make all these things. And I was like, okay. And that's
I
how
know
the story
you've
actually
been
came to
doing
be.
so much stuff. I want to order bookmarks. I need to go on and order them. They're so cute. What
Um,
cracks me up the most is that you make bookmarks and then you were using like a maxi pad as a bookmark the other day in your video.
Wait, she was? What did I just
Yeah.
walk in on? You were using a maxi pad as a bookmark.
Literally, I did. I think it was a DRW, and I was just like, "Am I using a literal pad as a bookmark? Yes, I am. Do I make bookmarks for my store? Yes, I do."
How did I not notice this?
You could
That must have
actually,
been
if
one.
you want, because I know you do your little boxes every month for the free book, for your book club, which we're definitely going to talk about because you have a very successful book club on Fable. I do customs. So remember a long time ago I sent you that kind of trial thingy of your logo? Well,
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot better at it. So if you wanted like custom ones to throw in that box, you could.
You know, I was watching because I know JV, you ordered them, and I was like, oh, too bad I didn't have something to order. I'm such an idiot. I could do the Happy Little Book Club.
You have such
That
a
would be
cute
cute.
logo. That's why I
I'm gonna
used
do
yours
that.
as like the beta test because I was like, oh, it's gonna be so cute.
I'm doing that.
Okay, cool. Okay, I feel like now I'm just chilling with my friends. I was like, for the interview, the last one.
I think the adrenaline. Now you're gonna crash out here in a minute.
Well, I've got my energy drinks, so
Now
okay.
we're just hanging.
Yeah, now we're just hanging. Okay, so you want to do your housekeeping and then we'll get into the actual podcast?
Yeah, we'll do our
Yeah.
housekeeping. Hi, Emma. It's nice to officially meet you. I mean, I see you on Instagram all the time, but it's like so weird to actually like get to talk to people in real life. So
I know.
I'm
I
really
feel like I
excited.
know you, so I didn't even say like
right?
nice to meet you. I'm like, oh, I know JV.
I know. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
So just a couple housekeeping things. So we don't have, I'm sure you've already been able to figure this out. We don't know what the heck we're doing. So we're just very go with the flow, super conversational. We don't have an outline. We don't have questions planned out. It's really just supposed to be like a chat between people who enjoy the same things, which is generally books. So if you at any point feel like you said something that you didn't want to say or you shouldn't have said or whatever, Tyler can totally edit it out and she will. So just let us know. And Ty? Oh, the tech stuff.
Yeah, the tech stuff. So Riverside sometimes freezes, sometimes will glitch. Just keep going as normal audio-wise because it fixes all of that in post. So like the episodes come out perfectly fine, but all of us have shoddy internet, so yeah. And that's pretty much it. So I guess we'll get into the intro.
Okay, yay.
Okay,
We're
all right.
zenning.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Little Prince. Today, we have on somebody that I am so excited to talk to. I've
Me
actually
too.
known her for, well, at least over a year. We both started as baby bookstagrammers, and she is doing so well, and she is such a great person. JV, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes. Okay. So today we have Emma, aka the Happy Little Book Club on Instagram. Bookstagrammer, runs her own book club. Very cute DRWs. I also think that you are like a low-key fan of Frida McFadden, right? Because I
Low-key.
get my Frida McFadden recs from you. Because
Yeah.
when I need a palate cleanser, I read a thriller. So welcome. How are you, Emma?
Thank you. I'm so good. I feel like this is what people must have felt like when they guest starred on that show Friends. Like, because I feel like I've watched you guys. I've watched all your episodes, and now I feel like I'm jumping into my favorite show.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, stop it. That's so
It's so
cute. Thank you
weird.
so much.
That, like, gives my heart a little flutter. That is so
My
sweet
cup
of you
is
to
full
say.
now.
Full cup.
It's full.
It
Yeah,
feels like it feels strange, and, like, we were just chatting about JB, like, we've never actually met, but I feel like I know you because I've seen all your progress with your books and, followed your story on Instagram. I watch all your episodes with Tyler, and, like, Tyler, I feel like I've known you for, like, a year, that's crazy.
I know. It also feels like it's a lot longer than that. Like, when I
It
think
does.
when did you start your Bookstagram? Okay. Yeah, and I think I was, like, June, so it was very close.
Yeah, I think, like, maybe right before or right after I found you on Instagram.
Really?
Like, it was, like I think it was within I must have started it first, yeah, because I followed you from my book club account. So, like, I think, like, the week I started, I found you.
Oh my
Oh, that's
gosh.
awesome.
Yeah, and she is just so adorable. It's so funny because I'll get, like, these notifica my phone will blow up randomly one day, and I'm like, "Oh, Emma's catching up on all the content," and it's, like, all the comments, all the likes. It's so sweet.
That's
I'll, like,
awesome.
sit down with my lunch or something because I work from home, so I'm alone a lot. So, like,
Yeah.
I'll, like, sit down with my lunch, and I'll be like, "Oh, I haven't watched Tyler's videos in, like, a week. I'm gonna watch them all," and I'll just, like,
Yeah.
watch them like a show.
That is so
It's so
sweet.
cute.
See, I love
Yeah.
hype people like that. There's just, like,
Yeah.
something about the bookish community where it's like there are certain people you can always count on liking your things, right? Like, I have, like, a core group of people that no matter what I post, like, I know they're gonna like my stuff, and it's like, I don't know, it's almost like I post for them,
Mhm.
you know? And I
Yeah.
kinda like that.
The follow
I feel
count is
that
in the
too.
thousands, but you're, like, posting for the 3 people
For
that
the
you know
3
that are
people
like
that you know will definitely, like, always support you no matter what, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
And then it's
And
just like
I love the core group of, like it's mostly girls who I'm interacting with, and I'll get, like, maybe 10 to 15, like, messages a day. So I have, like, friends who I'm, like, talking with, like,
Yeah.
offline, it feels like, and that's really cool too.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like that
You built
too.
such actual, like, concrete friendships. So you're on Instagram. Do you have a TikTok or anything like that?
So I started a YouTube, I did kind of nothing with it, but I'd love to do longer videos on it, like long book
Nice.
reviews, and then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did make a TikTok, like, a couple months ago. And I was posting on it, and then I feel like I just scroll on it for so long, so I
Mhm.
ended up deleting it. So that is behind. So if there's anything I'm putting out, it's mostly on Instagram.
Yeah.
Nice. I think literally every single guest, except for the ones that kind of started on TikTok, kind of feel the same. They're like, either I doom scroll for no reason, or I find that the TikTok community just doesn't provide the same light and happiness and good fuzzy feeling that Instagram does.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I haven't made many connections over there.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I think maybe 1 or 2 people, that have kind of bled over from that's such a bad word, from TikTok to Instagram, but
Mhm.
mostly, I don't know, like, the deep connections I've made and the real true friendships, like Tyler, all through Instagram. Emma, do you remember the how you found Tyler? Like, what was the real or post? What was she doing? Was it a
Gosh.
DRW?
I actually do. I
I love
so,
that.
like, going back, I really like that girl, Suana,
Yes.
Oh, we do too.
Yeah.
and
Suwana, come on our podcast.
I know.
Yes.
I would love to hear her on your podcast. So I followed her and she's actually what made me like start my Bookstagram. I was like, oh my God, she seems so comfortable doing this. I'm gonna try. But she reposted Tyler. She reposted your DRW or something you did on her story. That's how I
Didn't know
found you.
that. Oh, what? Well, thank you so much, Suana. I didn't know that. She
Yeah.
reposted a story, a thing I did on her story?
It was either like a DRW or it was something you bought, like a shirt from Book Babes, or it was like
Oh, wow.
something that I think you mentioned her in. It's just like I think you lived in a different house at the time.
Probably, probably. She actually was the reason I started doing the candles when I was going up to 1,000. I reached out to her and I was like, "Hey, I know you're doing this thing. Not trying to copy you at all, but I would love to also celebrate in that way. Are you cool with that?" And she was like, "Girl, get it. Absolutely." She is so supportive, which is so amazing. But that's so cool. See, you know what's so funny is back then I really didn't understand Instagram. It's funny because I've been on doing content for a lot of my life. I've done different versions of myself, like the fitness girly, the book girly, the cooking girly. Like I've been on social media for a long time, but I don't think I understood the mechanics of how much like, how big that was at the time. Because now I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
She reposted me. I was just probably like, "Oh, cool." That's sweet. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
wow,
she has,
that's
like,
crazy.
what, 150 or more
She blew
thousand
up
followers?
so fast. I'm
Yeah.
so happy, and her YouTube has blown up too, which is so
Mhm.
amazing because people like that, she's just positive. Like,
She is
she's
awesome.
also
I love her
herself.
silent book reviews.
Yeah.
They're my
Yeah,
Her
favorite.
silent ones are
She's
so
so
sweet.
funny.
animated.
Yeah.
I feel like I was just thinking about that this morning, guys. Like I was like, we should create a list of like guests that would be like if we could get them on.
Rebecca Yarros. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know who I'd also really like
Frida
to have on
McFadden.
is like the Smash Cast guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh
Or
god, that'd be chaos.
oh my god.
I think I would, I think I would literally freeze up. Steven and I can't quite remember what the other guy's name is because he never actually calls him by his name.
No.
But, the guy with the long hair kinda looks like Cassian apparently, or plays Cassian in a lot of the balls that he goes to.
Oh, I freaking love that. Okay, hold on. So, oh, PB Squamer
PB
and
Squamer, yeah.
Stephen Walker.
What an interesting name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Those
good.
2. Oh my gosh, I would love to have those 2 on. I was just thinking
Oh
about
my
that this
god.
morning, but I'm too chicken shit to reach out to them.
No, you definitely should. This podcast is cool. You've got some amazing guests that have been on here. Like, you
We
guys are so
really do,
Yeah,
including
we've been
you,
very
Emma.
lucky, including you. Yeah, let's get back to what we do
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Emma,
talking to Emma.
I
First
wanna
of all
know. Yeah. No,
sorry,
okay,
go ahead.
who's hijacking this? I mm,
You go.
so Emma, you just got married
I
not
was
too
just gonna
long
say
ago.
that.
in June, yeah, I just got married
Mhm.
in June 28th this
Congratulations.
year.
So you're still newlywed. How long have you and your husband been together?
We've been together for 8 years.
So not really
Nice.
newlywed, just like
But you know what? We do say,
contract
like,
signed.
since we got married, it does feel new. Like, all of a
Yeah?
sudden, new relationship and new life, like, it's
Oh,
really
I
nice.
love that.
Oh my gosh, is Ryan there today?
He is, so he's, like,
Yeah.
keeping the dogs tame because I was
Nice.
like, "Don't let them bark, whatever you do."
That's
It's all
okay. I
good.
had my son in the last interview because he woke up from his nap because I'm momming at the same time, and I put him down, and he walked that way and turned around and ran his face into the table. So, it's just
God. Is he okay?
noise in life happens. Oh, yeah, he's good.
We're
He's
nothing
watching
if
Kung Fu Panda.
not real
Yeah,
on this podcast. I mean, that is the whole
totally,
point, right? I mean, I
totally.
know a lot of Instagram and social media is about like, look, the things that you see are only the things that people want you to see, which I think contributes to sort of our mental health crisis everywhere because comparison is the death of joy and all the things. And it's true. And I
Mhm.
tell my kids, my daughters are 11 and 9, and so they're definitely I don't let them have social media, but they're scrolling on things, right? They have Pinterest and they have YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, "Babes, you have to remember that whatever people put out there are only the things they want you to see. That
Yeah.
is not real life." So,
That was what was, like, a little bit preventing me from starting some type of social media because
yeah.
and, like, still, like, I mean, my office right now, like, has a bunch of stuff, like, all over, right?
Mhm.
Like, I
Mhm.
feel like sometimes I'm like, "Oh, my office is too messy, I can't post a video," or
Yeah.
I don't have, like, a space, like, I didn't have these bookshelves before, like, it almost stopped me from making videos, or maybe I didn't do my hair that day, or, I don't have
Mhm.
Yeah.
it on, and then I realized it's fine, like
Yeah.
and that's why, Tyler, I've always loved your Instagram so much because you're just you. You just pop in, you're like, "Hey, here's this,"
In
and
our
you go
pajamas.
yeah,
A robe.
inspiring.
Yeah.
I think it's so true. I think you're am I
Yeah.
spot on.
You have to be you have to love how am I gonna say this? So if you're doing content and you're doing content that is like you are the content, you gotta have fun with it and you gotta just be yourself because if I'm changing what I look like or my clothes for a video, then that's not really me. I mean, there's sometimes where I'll change and, like, I'm not wearing a bra, so I'm like, "I'm gonna put a t-shirt on." But, like, besides that, like, honestly, I struggled really, really badly with acne, in my early 20s, and I wore a lot of foundation. I did JV has access to all of my old YouTube
They're
makeup
so good.
tutorial videos
They're
with
s
baby Tyler, and, I wore it as a mask. So, I mean, now that I have clearer skin, I promised myself once I came off Accutane, I'm not wearing makeup really anymore. Unless it's like a special occasion, we're going out for a date or something along those lines, then I'll put on some like tinted moisturizer and stuff, but I live in my skin. And that's what I record in. Like it's just that's become my brand is just like hot mess.
I do the same thing though, like, naturally, I don't wear a lot of makeup, like, I put on makeup today, but it's very natural, like, because 'cause I'm going
It's
out to
very
dinner
pretty.
after, but
Yeah.
and, I didn't wanna look bad on this, but I usually
You
in
look
my
beautiful.
videos thank you. Usually in my videos, I'll do no makeup, I don't really do my hair, I'll have whatever I'm just wearing for the day, like, now I kinda get a little more dressed up for work, so I feel like I wear my work clothes, but I just, like, run with it, and, like, I feel like I'm still a year in finding what my book club is, right? So, like,
Mhm.
on the Instagram page, am I just speaking to the void or am I trying to like get people to know me? And I think
Yeah.
if you watch some of my early videos, I'm kind of just talking to a void. And now I'm trying to just be like, hey, it's me and I think this. And, if
Mhm.
you like, because there's a lot of people I follow that do nothing on their videos. They'll eat or they'll like just talk. And I love that. I love just a glimpse into someone's life. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to be more like that, more vulnerable or more open or more honest about what I'm doing. And then also just mostly about books. Like, that makes
Totally.
sense. Yeah.
And you have such a cute, cozy, comfy vibe. Like, when I watch your stuff, I'm like, I'm sitting in a cafe with a nice cup of coffee, the fireplace, it's like dimly lit. Like, it's
Yeah.
such a cozy place, your Instagram, but also sunshine and happiness. And just
Yes.
like, yeah, it's honestly, and you've created such a great brand for yourself. The Happy Little Book Club is such a great name. Even when I changed mine over to Hello Happy Good Morning, I, like, messaged her because I was like, "It has the word happy in it. Is it okay if I change my
I
name
don't
to
own
this?"
happy.
Like I know, but I'm always like, I never wanna do things, especially, like, not taking away, but just, like, taking a part, I guess, of someone's stuff, so I always ask, and she was like, "Girl, I don't own the word happy," and I was like, "No, I understand that, but I respect you as a friend and as a fellow bookstagrammer, and I don't want you to feel like she changed her name to, like, step on my toes or anything like that."
Never.
Because like, I have such a weird, I don't know what kinda complex it is, but it's not like a people-pleasing complex, it's like a "please don't get mad at me" complex.
I think it's also just respectful. I mean, I think that
Yeah,
honestly we need more in this world because I think that people generally want to be giving, right? But
yeah,
if but you give them an explanation, right? You don't just take or make it look like you're taking. If you just heads up, hey, is that okay? 99.9% of the time they're gonna be like, yeah, fucking go for it, right? I'm sorry, Emma,
Like
I cuss
the
a lot.
drinking the DRWs, the drinking, reading, wearing, like, you
yeah,
do that, and then I asked you, like, "Is it okay if I do that?"
yeah.
Like, tag you in them, and, like, I am a part of a different book club, like an offline book club, and then sometimes as the icebreaker, we'll do a drinking, reading, wearing, so, like, people
Oh, I
have
freaking love that.
yeah,
That is such a cute idea.
people
Oh,
Okay,
that
so
love
must be so fun
rolling
because, like oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say people love when you get a good idea or something that makes you happy, like, rolling with
yeah.
it, so, like,
Yes.
sharing it
Yeah.
this way.
Share
I
the
think it's so
joy.
interesting because, like, in book club, obviously, you're there to talk about the book that you've read, but that's not necessarily the book that you're reading. So, like, doing the DRW in that space is so interesting to know what you're on to next, you know?
That is
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's a
so cool.
brilliant. That is brilliant. Emma,
Okay.
do you read a lot of so I see a lot of like your thriller recs too, which I like because I'm in a romance space as a romance author and because I like reading them, but as I said, I like a palate cleanser and that's usually Frida McFadden for me because I'm always like, "Nah, I got this figured out. I already know what the plot twist is." And then at the end I'm like, I her red herrings are they're red herringing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's
Do you,
incredible.
like, mostly read thrillers, or do you have a favorite
Yeah.
genre?
So I feel like I've read forever, like since I can even remember. reading, like, kindergarten age, like, I've always read, and so,
Wow.
if I had to count all the books I've ever read, it would be I don't even know how many, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, so I feel like it takes a lot for me to be surprised or, like,
Yeah.
thrown for a loop in reading,
Yeah.
so I've read a ton of romance, like, I think I would really like your book, JV, because it's, like, a dark, twisty
I
romance,
think you
like
would
Oh,
too.
prepare to cry.
I know, Tyler tells me all the time, but when it comes to, like, a fluffy feel-good romance, I have a really hard time with those because 'cause I've read so many, so I really
Mhm.
find myself in, like, mystery, thriller, sci-fi,
Yeah.
things that maybe I'll be a little surprised or, like, I need to know the end, like, because if I already kind of know, I may not finish it, I may not spend, like, the 4 or 5 hours trying to find the end because 'cause I'm like, "I already know what's gonna happen."
You're a girl of my own heart because I'm the same way. I need like the deep, the dark, the unexpected.
Mhm.
And I mean, nothing is truly new, right? We talk about this on this podcast all the time. It's been done in some shape, way, or form. But so for me, I try to even write, and I'm not trying to say that I'm some weird original person. I'm really not. I'm sure it's been done 1,000 times before, but I like sort of the trauma that I touch upon to not necessarily be inflicted on the person you'd expect it to be inflicted on, but to
Yeah.
kinda, like, role reverse some things. I'm working on a new book, and I'm working with a trauma that I think is fairly common, uh, but I'm kind of, like, twisting it up a little bit to make it a little less
Nice.
expected, and I like the more unexpected things as well, which is why I like a
Yeah.
trauma, romance, or thriller too, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a TV show, like, you're not gonna watch a whole series if it's boring, so, like, I feel like some people maybe read 1 book a year, and they'll just stick it out, like, even if they're like, "Oh, I hate it," and I'm like, "You could stop," like, the same way you turn a
Yeah.
TV show off, like, I'm a DNFer, I'm like, 10 pages in, I'm like, "This sucks," like, I'll just
I am too.
throw it away.
My god, that was me with the Encyclopedia of Fairies. I had so many people who told me, "Oh my god, this book is so good. You're going to love it." I was so confused 20 pages in because, like, hey, so I love a sci-fi or not sci-fi, I like a romantasy or a fantasy, but when the fantasy is too fantasy, where you're creating, like, different words and places, and for some reason, the place is this long, and it's just, like, it's t a whole new language, I'm just like, "You have lost
Languages.
me. I'm a simple-brained person. I can't, so
It's tough,
DNF."
and sometimes too so the books I pick a book a month for the book club, and anyone's
Yeah.
welcome to, like, read it with me, but I do that because I wanna read the book with people, so I'll start
Mhm.
it, like, middle of the month, and then, we'll discuss it with people who are reading it with me, but sometimes I start reading and I'm like, "This sucks," like, I picked a
No.
bad book,
What
and
do you
now
do then?
But that's just your opinion though, because
Yeah,
what you think is trash, somebody else is gonna be like, "This is the best book I've ever read."
yeah.
Right? So that's what's so fun, and I wanna give a shout out to your book club, and I haven't participated in a long time. I think I did the Freedom McFadden and the Boyfriend, which was so great.
Mhm.
I'll write
But
that
the
one
Happy
yet.
Little Book Club on Fable, how many followers do you have, like 80 something?
I think it just went to, like, 110.
Oh,
Something like
goddamn.
110 people are part of it, so, like, Fable's cool because we're all so busy, like, I have one book club I joined that, like, each month we meet on a Zoom, and, like, sometimes not everyone can make it, and it's, like, even an hour a month is a lot for a time commitment, and so, Fable's cool because you read it, and then you go in and see what people are talking about, like, per chapter, and you could do it middle of the night, you could do it on your lunch break, and you feel like you're communicating with people about the book, but you're not pressured. And you can
Totally.
also, like, read a book from 3 months ago on there. So
And still participate, and I
and
think
still
it's so cool the
participate.
way Fable does it because you go in for those of you who don't have Fable, you go into the book, her account, and then you click on a chapter, and the chapters are hidden. So, if you're at chapter 3, but you wanna see what people thought about chapter 2, you just click on chapter 2, and then all the discussion is in there, but unless you're done that chapter, you don't wanna go in because you don't want spoilers. It's just such a smart way to do a virtual book club that you constantly feel a part of.
Yeah. It's really cool. And, yeah, so, like, picking the book, I try to pick something, like, I'm gonna really enjoy. It's not like I really try not to pick a book that I think everyone will enjoy. I'm like, "Here's what I wanna read, and if you wanna be my reading friend, read it with me." But, yeah, sometimes I pick the wrong book, like, I've done it maybe 10 months, I think now, and I think 2 or 3 of them I didn't finish, and I'll review it in the book club and be like, "I hated this." Like, some people
Wow.
really like it, so,
But that's so real, though.
yeah.
Some books are just not good. I have a couple off the top of my head,
Yeah,
but
and that's like one of the nice things about the bookish or really any creative space. It's that it's
yeah,
so subjective and it takes all kinds of kinds, right? And not everybody's gonna enjoy the same thing, and that's okay. And I'm
Yeah.
also a DNFer. I'm very much a
Yeah.
proponent of I try not to do toxic. There's so much in this world already. And reading for me is supposed to bring me joy. And if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not forcing myself to do that. I had to do that in high school. I had to do that in college. I had to do that in grad school. And
yeah.
now I just read for pleasure. And if
Yeah.
it's not pleasurable, then I'm not doing it.
Even some authors I love, I'll pick up one of their books, like, and then I'm like, "Oh, this is bad." I'll buy their next one, I'll try again, but this particular one is just great, and that's fine. Like,
Yeah,
even the
totally.
best TV show I've ever watched has bad episodes, so
Totally, and that's where they have, a lot of episodes and TV and stuff also have filler episodes that you're like, "Why are we even here?" And sometimes books are just the filler episode, and you're like, "What is even the point?" My friend was talking about something about the Throne of Glass series. There was a book that she read that she, like, absolutely hated. I think it was the 7th book or, like, before the last book, and
7?
she was like, "Why?" Yeah, it's crazy. This is so many books. But she was like, it was a book created on B characters, and she's like, "I don't care about these people," and the friend's like, "Just stick with it. You're gonna love the last one." And it's like, No. Do you know how long it takes some people to read a book?" Like,
Yeah,
and her books are, like, huge.
fantasy series, I'll get recommendations, like, "You should read this series, it gets good on the 3rd book," and I'm like,
No.
"That's 1,500 pages in, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Just tell me what
It gets
happened."
then there's so many other, like, we are a proponent of, um, being on social media and being a part of, like,
Recommendating.
recommending books to people,
Recommending.
and right, yeah, Jesus Christ. Maybe I shouldn't have had the caffeine. Um But and you get kind of sucked in, like, me and you have done very good at staying away from the top 10, like, all the books that everybody is like, "You need to read this book. If you don't read this book, you're not even a real reader."
Yeah.
Like, ACOTAR, I could say off the
I
top of
feel
my
like that
head.
comes up all the time, Ty.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna bitch about it, but also, like, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe series, there's so many books out there that people love, and that's great. Books are subjective, but we do a very good job of being like, read this probably not so well-known book because I think you're really gonna like it. And I think the reason why you're doing so well is because you do your reviews in the basis of this is what I liked. And it's okay if you didn't like it, but if you like the kind of stuff that I like, I think you're gonna like this.
You know what I
And I think
think?
that's so much more approachable too.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was just
Go ahead.
thinking, the other day because we're always talking about like, oh, like what can you guys post for your bookstagram and your series? Because I feel like as content creators for you guys, there's well, for any content creator, there's a lot of pressure. Like, what's going to be my next post? It's all the thinking about it. You guys should do a series of overhyped, underhyped, appropriately hyped. I saw that the other day, and I love that so much because a lot of people that do that, they talk about indie authors, right? And it's like which are generally underhyped just because nobody talks about them. And then you have the really big, like the book talk, hyped up books, and you pick them up and you're like, okay, I mean, yeah, it was an
No,
entertaining book. It was really
yeah,
good. I enjoyed it, but like,
Yeah, it
do
just had good
500
marketing.
million people need to talk about it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
that's a good point too. Like when I started my Bookstagram, I was like, I don't think I'm reading a lot of the stuff other people are reading and posting about. Like my demographic isn't teenagers reading fantasy. Like it's a little
Mhm.
older, it's a little more like I always say I read like commercial fiction. Like I'm always reading things that are just like I don't know, like they're usually traditionally published. It's, like, kinda just the regular book. I don't even know how to explain it.
Mhm.
They're just the regular books. They're just maybe
Yeah.
you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but they're out there and they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
was hard
Yeah.
to, like, find the audience for that, I feel like,
Yes.
but it's growing.
Totally.
They're
Well, it's
out
like you walk in. Yeah, you're growing exponentially, which is so crazy, and I'm so proud of you because I know we kind of both started at the same type of place, and to see the reception and to see, yeah, you're like 5,000 followers. Good job, hun. That's
That's
amazing.
incredible.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Like, yeah, what I was gonna say is like you walk into a bookstore and you've got your bestsellers, right? And then you've got rows and rows and rows and rows of books that are just like out there. And I think that if we put a focus on the ones that are just out there, then maybe they'll end up on those bestseller, shelves because there's so many books out there, obviously, as everybody knows. Um, but yeah, gosh, how has it been like it's been this is going by too fast. I want to sit and talk with you for like 6 hours and it's not fair. Um, yeah, I feel like I have so many questions, but my brain is like running a
I know,
blank.
because do you guys do back to back when you do your podcast?
We
We do
do,
back
yeah.
back
We've
to
got
back.
another one after this as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, maybe I do need caffeine. What are you drinking today? Are you drinking anything? Do you have a
Um,
Nespresso coffee?
Are you
I
drinking
brought it
vodka?
I put it in a cup because I know you guys do, like, your drinking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing a liquid IV popsicle flavor.
Ooh.
I've heard
Ooh.
those are so good.
Mhm.
You've told me so many times to buy them,
They're so good. They
and I
taste like
haven't.
Italian ice.
What's Italian ice?
Like lemon slush, like,
Oh, okay.
Wait,
it's really
Interesting.
what is
good.
that? They taste like that?
Yeah, have you ever had it? I think it's called Italian ice. It was like a brand, and it was like lemon slush, basically. That's what these taste like, or those red, white, and blue popsicles.
The rockets?
Yeah,
I don't know. We call them rockets here. I don't know if they're the
Pop
same
yeah,
there.
rocket pop.
rocket pop. Pop
Rocket
rockets?
pop.
No, that's not it.
Yeah.
Um, so Emma, I know we always make our people, our guests fill out this questionnaire. And one thing that I found interesting, and which I think because we asked for hot takes, right?
Yeah.
Because when we
Oh,
originally
yes.
envisioned our podcast, we are like, oh, we should always do something on hot takes because I'm on threads there's always some hot take. It's usually
Mhm. Yeah.
bullshit. Somebody's
Yeah.
just like, well, here's an unpopular opinion. Yeah, it's unpopular because anyways, so we talk about these hot takes and then Tyler and I keep going back and forth and back and forth and it's cyclical. But yours I thought was interesting. I was like, oh, I've heard this before. So
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it up, for controversy. Because you said that you don't like trigger warnings because to you
No.
they're spoilers.
I
We've talked
hate
about this.
I hate trigger warnings, and I know why people
Mhm.
do them. I totally understand the concept behind them,
Yeah.
but I feel like they should be something you have to find instead of something that gets told to you right away. Like, if I want to read a book and I'm sensitive to XYZ subject, I should be able to find the trigger warning. Like, maybe it's in the back of the book or something I can look up on like Goodreads or something. But when I
Mhm.
open the first page and then it tells me everything that's going to happen, I'm like, now I know. I know what's going to happen because they'll say, watch out, this is going to happen. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or like mostly on TV shows, like on streaming platforms, it'll be up in the top corner when you start the
Yeah.
episode. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
spoiler alert. I feel like it's just a risk you have to take when you start any type of art. Like it might make you feel something.
Yeah.
Like that. I think putting it at the back of the book is a good idea. Like maybe the first page is like for trigger warnings, see the back.
Yeah.
If you don't want trigger warnings, continue on.
That's actually because I've heard both ways, right? Like
Mhm.
I've heard people say, "Oh, I don't like trigger warnings because similar, like they spoil things for me." And then I'm as an author, I'm like, "Well, but I want people to have the choice on whether they pick up my books because especially for me, somebody who writes deep, dark, traumatic things, I know that it could be emotionally triggering for some people who've been through this stuff because I try when I write not to just glaze over the trauma. I go deep into
No, she
it
goes deep into it. Yep.
and I know that can be tough for some people. So I want them to be aware. And I want people to have it's all about consent for me. Like if you can handle it, handle it. If not, but I also tried to not phrase my trigger warnings. I don't know, because you can be really deep. There are some of the darker romance books that are like, okay, BDSM, involuntary cannibalism, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people
Your
are gonna be
lights out. You're
eating
just like, what?
lights out. Exactly. I'm like, what do you mean cannibalism?
Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Turn the trigger warnings into something that's like, well, I want to read that.
It's
But
just
I
like
love
Allie
cannibalism.
Hazelwood book. It's like trigger warning cannibalism. You're like, oh.
Oh.
But I
Not
feel
her normal demographic.
like
I don't know anybody who would be triggered by cannibalism unless, like, I don't know, there's probably a very small part of the population that's like, "Oh, I've
Maybe
had
their
experience
paw
with
was eaten. I
cannibalism."
don't
I don't
know.
know. But I like the idea, Emma, of having, like, in the first like, the front being like, "For trigger warnings, check back,"
yeah.
Yeah,
Because also
maybe?
I feel like there are some subjects that when I read, I'm like, "Oh, I wish it wasn't in this book," or it's upsetting. But then I also feel like sometimes when you do read it, it could be therapeutic in a way. I'm like,
Very
"Oh, this is
cathartic.
actually really dark or really troubling, but I feel better having read it," or I feel like I'm happy or appreciative or more empathetic or something. So you also can find yourself growing from reading things that maybe are more difficult. But I get like not I get wanting to be warned if something's going to be terrible. I just think it shouldn't be, like, right in your face.
I like that idea.
I
I think
think
I might
yeah,
incorporate that for the next series, doing just
yeah.
a, "Hey, for trigger warnings, check the back of the book," taking
If
it
all
out
your
from
readers
right.
get upset, it's not my fault. They're like,
People are gonna
"Mhm."
be like, "I need a trigger warning, set the trigger warning is in the back, man." I've and so far, I feel like I warn people sufficiently enough that I mean, literally call it a trauma romance, so if you don't expect trauma in my trauma romance, I don't know what else I can do, but I like that idea, Emma. I think I'm gonna incorporate that and then send people to you for complaining about
Send the
Emma
therapy
Emma
bill to
made
Emma.
me.
Like, I remember reading, like, Colleen Hoover's books, right? Like, all
Yeah.
her books, they have a little dark undertone, but some of them are just romance, and then I read, like, Verity, and I was
Yeah,
like,
oh, Verity is so good.
"What?" But if I had been warned that it was going to kinda be like that, I think it would have ruined the book for me.
Yeah.
Do we think, and this I
I don't
guess would
read the
be a
trigger
hot
warnings
take.
most of the time.
Yeah.
I just
No,
skip
I wonder
over them.
you just skip. You're like, "Oh, well, whatever happens, happens." Um, so it's so funny because 'cause I'm on both sides of this, which is probably not a good place to be on a hot take, but should you be should you should you be educated in the book reading decision you're going to make before reading the book? But I'm also the person who literally doesn't read the back of books and goes in blind,
That's why.
right? So that's wild, do you think so?
That's insane. Like,
I think
Yeah, I
that's
don't know if
insane
it's
too.
like a
I
romance
need a
or a
preview.
thriller or whatever. No, I don't read
She's like, "The
anything.
cover's pretty."
do you also not
100%.
do you also not watch trailers for movies?
Yeah, I
She
don't watch
doesn't.
trailers. No.
Oh my god.
I literally if a Marvel or, like, a trailer comes on of a movie that, before I had a kid, I was like, "I'm gonna go see this in theaters," I walk out of the room or I plug my ears. I'll be in the theater when they're playing trailers for movies that I wanna see, and I will cover my ears and I will close my
See?
eyes and I'll go, "La la la la
All
la
I
la
do
la."
sometimes is I go to a streaming net like Prime or whatever, and I will only watch previews.
Mhm.
My husband loves watching previews. I
I do
like to
too.
go into things so completely unaware. Like, there was a scene that happened in one of the latest Marvel movies, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" in the theaters, and everyone looked at me like, "Bitch, it was in the trailer." And I was like, "I didn't see the trailer." Like,
Isn't that
That's
insane?
funny.
but it gives you so much more. I don't know, it's just so much more of a complete experience
Yeah.
because you don't know anything.
See, I feel like that's a hot take, and I can see why you would do that, but
Yeah.
then, like, say I picked up a book and I'm like, "Oh, this sounds promising, a good title," and then I start to read it, I'm like, "Oh, that's the story?" I feel like I would end up
Yeah.
not finishing a lot more books. Like, I need to know I'm
That is
like
true. Yeah, I mean, I did that with, not that I didn't finish, but this book and my other one's in the stack, so you're gonna have to ignore it. But I literally saw this, and the second one is For the Wolf, which is the other sister, and they were sitting like this, side by side, and I was just like, a media buy. Do I know what it's about? Absolutely not. Is this gorgeous? Yes, it is. It goes on my shelf, and they sit so beautifully side by side, and they're like like textured paper. But I picked up the For the Wolf and I read it and I was like, freaking 5-star book, but I don't star rate my books. That's another hot take. I hate star ratings. I think it's barbaric and outdated. We need to come up with a different rating system for books because
I think
like
there need to be no stars because I think that some
100%
people, and that is my hot take as an author, because the other day I got
take episode.
I try okay, and this here's another hot take on top of a hot take is like as an author, I'm a parent. I'm not supposed to be in reader spaces, right? Like Goodreads, all of that. I'm like prohibited from being in there, even though I created the freaking thing that they're rating. But I'm not
Mhm.
allowed in there for some reason. Some people feel very strongly that authors are not permitted in reader spaces, even though you're critiquing my book. But I still do occasionally look. I've learned not to go there a lot because it's very detrimental to mental health, I find.
Mhm.
Okay.
But sometimes there are reviews that are really helpful because they actually give you good feedback and you're like, I want to implement that. Like, I want to get better as an author. And if I can't be in that reader space where it tells me what I should improve upon, I will never know, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
know. So, but there was a review and it was a 4-star review, and not that that's bad by any means. It's a great 4 stars is wonderful out of 5. I'm
Mhm.
so appreciative of any review I get, and the review was glowing. It was like, "This was such a good book, I didn't want it to end," and I was like,
Where's my 5th star?
What else could I have
Yeah.
done? Give you my firstborn?"
Yeah.
Like, and you know how there's, like, teachers out there that refuse to give A's? It's
Yeah.
like that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "What is I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't
I don't
understand." No
understand that
stars.
either. Any book
Get rid of the stars.
any book that I thoroughly enjoy is 5-star. Like, I do rate books, but I don't rate books in a low star. So I'll rate 5 stars, 3
Yeah.
stars, 4 stars. But if I absolutely don't like a book, I don't leave any stars. It's just no stars,
Yeah,
and that's it. I
yeah.
don't wanna.
And the conversation doesn't even need to happen. Like, I mean, we can definitely post about, like, I personally didn't enjoy this, but you know what I like, right? So if I went into this and I didn't enjoy this, you might also feel the same, but you might not. You might love this, right? And it's all like books are subjective in the way that we perceive them, but also like the time in our lives that we read them, right? So, like, something that we might be like, I really didn't like this. You pick it up 2 years later, you're like, wow, actually,
Yeah.
Really liked it.
it's actually really
Yeah.
good.
Those books that I don't finish, I will go back to maybe another time and be like, "Do I like this
Same.
now?" Because
Yeah.
there are books that I maybe bought 7 years ago that I thought were
Mhm.
boring, but now I'm into that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
though, reviews, like, I don't look at them before something, but I do look at them after. So, like, if I'm going into a new book, I don't look at reviews because someone might say
Me
something
too.
that turns me off, but after, if I like a book, I'll be like, "Oh, let me look through all the other 5 stars," and if I hate it, I'm like, "I'm going the 1 stars, I'm seeing who agrees with me," but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna put that out there.
Yeah, I don't usually
Yeah.
buy books based off of reviews either. So I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't read the back of books, 'cause I don't
I
wanna
don't
know
want to know
nothing.
anything.
I don't wanna know
That's so
anything. I
cute.
kind of get a little bit of a hint which genre of the bookstore I'm in, but normally 9 times out of 10, I'm like young adult.
Um,
Young adult is where I wanna buy my books.
Really?
Lindsay,
Yeah.
we had
Yeah, because they have everything. Like, young
that's
adult
true.
has romance, has
All the
thriller, has
things.
murder mystery, has everything,
True.
but I feel like, even the book I'm reading right now, I don't actually think it's young adult, sorry for all the banging. I'm reading The Zodiac Academy, which apparently this isn't the first book because, of course, I never read the frickin'
You
first book in a
always start a
series.
series in the middle.
But I Googled it and they said a lot of people confuse this for the first book because it's literally just called The Zodiac Academy. But this is a dual written book by two ladies, and I'm assuming because it's a Gemini, so Gemini, it's based off the zodiacs. I don't know if this is young adult, but I love the writing of it because it feels younger. It feels like they just turned 18. I'm 37, so I'm like, take me back to those days. Um, that's why I think I like young adult. Also, JV educated me on the fact that young adult doesn't mean that it's written for a younger audience. It means that the adults in those books are the problem and the younger people are solving it or like trying to make the world a better place. And I love that.
That makes a
Yeah.
lot more sense, yeah, because some of them, 'em I'm like, "This is." I thought young adult
This
meant,
is
like, you read it
heavy.
when you're a teenager, but it's just that it
Yeah.
focuses on young adult lives. That makes
It
a lot more sense.
focuses, yeah, and it's meant to say that essentially that the younger generation, so the between 12 and 18-year-olds create a better world for themselves, and that usually the adults in those stories are the problem. So, but it gets confused because they're like, oh no, it's marketed for 12 to 18-year-olds. It's actually not, because if you think about it, there are a lot of young adult books that are actually quite explicit, and most of the really
Yeah.
good dystopian novels, Hunger Games, those are
Yeah.
all YA, but they
Yeah.
deal with some really traumatic subjects. And it's not because they're marketed for 12-year-olds, they're marketed to anyone. They're really just supposed to show that it's the young generation that creates a better world. That's
It's
really
so
what
cool.
that's
I
supposed
used
to
to
be.
love, like, The Hunger Games, The Maze
Me
Runner.
too. Me
We just saw
too.
The Maze Runner was added to Netflix. I'm like, "Ryan, we have to
Yes.
watch them." Like, they're so
Nice.
good.
So good. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
now tell them 'em they're not young adult. They're just about the young adults making
It's
it
such
in
a
the
it
world.
it's like a flip of a switch in your brain too when you learn that because you're like, "I just like young kid books. It's my brain's not developed enough to read the big adult books." But I feel like young adult, that genre just brings everything. Like, you can literally get and also so much cheaper. Like, you buy a romance, um, you're looking at 25 bucks.
Yeah,
You buy a young adult romance, you're looking at 15 bucks,
that's
maybe,
true.
and you're getting a bigger book. Like, you pay, like, the total how much is this book? This was a young adult book, and, chonky, right?
Oh, that looks
I
good.
paid 18.99, but it's 14 US.
Yeah. Wow.
For
Yeah.
this? Also, this series is so good, by the way.
I feel
The
like too genres or something I think about as I'm reading it, but I don't know like that it's that genre maybe before, but it's the story. So like I'll go to a bookshop, I'll look and like I mainly read fiction, like rarely nonfiction, so at least that I know. But I'll
Mhm.
like look through and I'll find myself picking up stories that are more the thriller, but I don't go to like, oh, I'm gonna go the thriller section. Like I'll find myself just
Interesting.
liking the same type of story. So sometimes it's
Yeah.
like, I didn't know I liked climate fiction. Like, Charlotte McConaughey's books are technically climate fiction. I
What
would
is
never
that? Like, what's climate fiction? Tell me about that. That
she
sounds really
writes
good.
I don't know the proper definition, but she writes about, like all her books include, like, some type of like, floral or what is it?
Like
Fauna?
flo
Like, animal or plant.
flora?
Fauna, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so, like, she'll write about like, one of her books is about, like, rehabbing wolves. One of the
Oh,
books is, like, a migration of birds. One of them's about, like, the seed vault and all the environment, like, all
Oh,
the
wow.
so it's always a heartbreaking story, but it involves, like, a really nice message about animals or plants or the environment. And I went to go see her talk, and she's like, "Yeah, like, when I started writing climate fiction," and I was, like, mind blown that that was a genre. Because 'Cause I'm like, "Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's would describe her books."
That's
Yeah,
so fascinating because I'm constantly still learning about, like, genres and subgenres
totally.
and, like, the shifter where I had no idea.
She
I had no idea.
have
I
you
was like,
read Bride?
It
You've read Bride, right? By Ali Hazelwood?
I
Emma?
haven't.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm the only one.
Well,
I
That's
I
okay.
finally listened to it on audiobook, like, a month
Yeah.
ago, and it's very
It's
good, but it
different.
was my first
Yeah.
shifter because I remember going to a book signing and I was like, "Oh, what's your book about?" And they're like, "Well, it's the shifter multiverse, and you have the maids," and I'm like, "You're speaking a
What?
different language. I have no idea what you're talking about."
Is there trauma? No?
Is
I'm
there
out.
trauma? No? No? Okay. No, wait, there's an alpha and a mate? No, I'm gonna I don't know what that means.
And now you're like, "Give me
And I'm like,
all
"Oh,
the
no, this is."
shifters."
I'm still not
Yeah.
sure that it is, like, something that I'm immediately drawn to, but I will, I'll give it a shot.
Or, like, I didn't really think about I forget, I was talking to Ryan
Climate
about something,
fiction.
and I was like, "I wonder if I'll like this sci-fi." I don't read it. He goes, "What do you mean? You read sci-fi all the time." And I'm like, "I do?" And then he'll, like, name books like Dark Matter, like all the Blake Crouch books, or, like, this
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
that's
the Other
sci-fi.
Valley, like I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I do read sci-fi," but I don't think of it because in my head, sci-fi is like spaceships and a story for a boy.
Robots and
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but there's so many really good sci-fi books that I do enjoy, so genre's hard, it's more an afterthought, I think, for me.
I
Totally.
agree.
Totally. That's what who did we have on? It was Jen Gran Reeds. She introduced us to Astromance, which is
Astromance. Yeah.
yeah,
Astro
which
romance.
is like astronaut romance, which I didn't know what was a thing.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one she introduced us to? We were both like, "What do you mean these are actual like genres of books that we just had no
I don't
idea?"
remember.
I
Do you
can't
guys
remember what the
feel
other
like
one was.
they're getting too, like, classified and
I
spec
think it's
Yeah.
there are a lot of subgenres, which is fine because if you're looking for a specific type of book, but it's also frustrating because as an author, you have to when you put your book out in the marketplace, you can only pick like 3 categories to put your book in. And for
really?
indies especially, you might not fit in only one genre. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
and so being able to
There's no trauma
no, there
romance
isn't. There
section.
isn't.
Which doesn't make sense because that's all Colleen Hoover is,
But
and that's all JV does.
there's, like, hockey romance, like, that's, like, a real
Yeah.
thing, like,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
crazy the subgenres. I feel like we should just
So
have
many.
the umbrella, and then you just find your stories because Like, I think in the questionnaire you guys asked, like, "What's your favorite trope?" And I'm like, "I honestly don't like identifying tropes."
Yep.
I
Because
feel like
I don't
it's
really
Mm.
we're
think of tropes as I read.
yeah, like, we're going too far and, like, it all becomes spoiling. I'm like, "I don't wanna know if it's from
Yeah.
the
I'm totally with you. You said that my least
I
fave
cannot
would be
believe you.
someone telling me the trope before I read it. And you know what? I
Yeah.
hate marketing just based on tropes.
Yeah.
I don't want to narrow my book down to a trope, but people look for that, so I try.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
especially in
feel like it's
romance.
so funny. Yeah, you're so you're so, like, blown away by the fact that I don't read the back of books, but you are very much like me in
That's
the
true.
fact that you don't wanna be
That
spoiled.
is
Maybe the next book you pick up, I challenge you not to read the back.
okay.
Just go to a bookstore, grab a book, go to the
Just
YA
based on the
section because 'cause you're gonna have
texture,
a good
like
time.
Tyler, just
Just
go in
based
there
on the
like this,
picture.
touch, and buy.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
Tyler? I'm gonna do this,
Challenge.
and I'm gonna record it, and I'm gonna see I'll make a video. I'll go to a bookstore, get a book just on the cover, start it, and I'll let you
I
start her back.
Have a actual proposition.
Okay.
Ryan goes with you to the bookstore. You walk through the YA section, kinda like you're choosing a snack, blinded,
Mhm.
hands running over books. He tells you where to stop, you read that book.
Okay, we'll do that.
love that. Can I do that
It's a
too?
fun idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
of
That's a
course.
great
Open It's so funny because 'cause I'm like we talk about it all the time, how it's like I am a content creator and I can't think of fucking content to do for my own channel, but all these ideas come up for other people, so,
Hey, you guys, I'm
um
sorry. I think we
no, I don't want to.
I'm the
I
worst. I'm
don't
sorry.
want
I, like, cut us
to.
off.
Why didn't we put her last? Then we could have talked to her for, like,
Well, Emma,
ever.
you can come back on.
I know,
Yeah.
we should do, like, an
Love that.
annual podcast
Yes.
Yeah.
hangout.
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
absolutely do that. Okay, but we have to because, maybe, Ty, what we need to do for season 2 is we need to space them out an hour and a half
Yeah.
instead of just an
But
hour.
then there's some people who are like, like you said earlier, an hour a month is a big commitment, right, for some people. So I totally get it. I'm just having a good time. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just
And I
hanging
will
out,
say,
chatting with my
like,
besties.
being a listener of your podcast, I love when things are still growing. Like, I love when you talk
Mhm.
about, like, editing live. I love when you are like, "Oh, we're late," or any real insight into behind the scenes. I enjoy your
Oh,
podcast
good.
for that. So, keep the growing pains and keep doing it the way you're doing, like, because once it's super polished, it loses a little something. So,
I
I
completely
like
agree.
I love that because I messaged JV because I was like, I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I'm gonna leave in all of our housekeeping, all of the kind of little things that we do before the episode. Um, it's kind of really random, but I think it's part of it. It's part of the whole experience, right? So the feedback on that, that's amazing. Thank you so much for letting me know because it was a total risk. And JV's like, do what you want. You're the
yeah,
editor. I totally trust you.
since you are
But sometimes it's fun to leave that kind of stuff
I
in.
like it.
Like,
I love the real
yeah.
stuff, and that's what you were known
Oh, that's
for, so
awesome.
keep doing it.
All right, do
Awesome.
your outro real quick before Eliza hops on.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, well, JV's making me say goodbye to
Sorry,
you,
I'm
and
the
I'm mad at
worst.
her. So we do have to wrap things up. We would love to have you back
Yes.
on whenever you are
Yep.
available. You've listened to the episodes, so you know that I do a throwaway. So without further ado, let the people know what's going on in your
And where
life.
we
Yeah.
can find you.
So if anyone wants to read books with me each month, you can find me at the Happy Little Book Club on Instagram. You can find me on the Happy Little Book Club on Fable. Oh, hi.
We already have Eliza on. Eliza, just hang out for a sec. Stay
We're just
on.
doing our
We're just
outro.
wrapping up.
Sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
totally good.
I'm loving the
That's okay.
segues with everyone because then you'll just keep watching all the episodes whenever they air. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, you can read with me each month, and every month I do a giveaway book box where I send a book to a reader to read with me with some goodies. So definitely check it out. This month we're reading something spooky.
Ooh, just in
Ooh,
time.
very on
I
brand.
love
Very
it.
on brand.
But thank you guys so much.
Okay.
This has
Thank you,
been so
Emma.
fun.
Thank you for
I'm
hopping
so
on.
glad.
And you got to
Yes.
meet
Tell
Eliza.
Ryan I say hi.
I
Hi.
will.
Yes.
Bye, Emma.
All right, you guys.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.